Well, I had no intentions of doing a video today. I got a lot on my plate today. I'm on a 1,000-acre tract of land that we trap on. But I got down here in this creek bottom, saw something in this tree, and kind of got my head to thinking. We put a camera on this creek right here. I'll show you when we get done with the video. Hogs like to travel up it, deer like to travel up it. When I was a young boy, I probably would have traveled up it. There's a bobcat that lives close by, and almost every night he comes through, so it's kind of cool. You start to learn, but the main reason we have a camera here is just to see if hogs are getting onto the property here, because they travel up the creeks for water, and a lot of acorns get down in here, and so a lot of hardwoods down in here. It's really pretty bottom, and it's just neat to see the difference. I mean, it's 50 degrees today, I'm freezing, and then 4 months ago it was 100 degrees, 100% humidity. But this video might rub a few folks wrong in the business, but I guess I don't care anymore. Big buzzword in the trauma world is resiliency. Somehow, theoretically, we can make people resilient. I'm not sure how that would work. I wrote about it about a year ago. I never really kind of kept my mouth shut about it. I don't buy into it. I just don't. Growth occurs because things happen to us. And we've covered this already in other videos. In theory, it sounds great that I could train you to be resilient. And it kind of buys in if you follow me on this, right? If you think about it, a Kevlar vest, right? It makes you theoretically can stop certain bullets. Turnout gear can stop certain degrees of fire. So our brains are just kind of like thought about this, right? It's like, okay, we can give you Kevlar and trauma plates, certain types of bullets. We can do, fire turnout gear. And we've always kind of heard that, right? So it's like, this is the stuff that used to protect us. So I can train your people to be resilient. So if they come up on a mutilated body or some god-awful scene or whatever, it's just going to slide right off of them. I don't think we're wired that way. I just don't. And I don't know if I want something necessarily to slide off of me. I'm all for the bullet, and I'm all for the turnout gear, and I wear a helmet, on my motorcycle, and I wear protective gear all the time. But a mutilated body, or whatever it might be, should impact us. And now how we deal with it, that's a whole nother story. But the word resilient, it sounds great, but I don't buy into it, and I don't want anything to do with it. And when you start looking at things, that's always been one of my things is hey, I don't want to forget the things that I've seen, the things that I've done, the things I've been exposed to. Because whoever they were, I didn't personally know them, but it meant something to me. And it impacted me. But it impacted me in a good way. At the time, was it a good way? Probably not. But as I processed through it, it was a good way. It's made me the man I am today. And I may not be perfect, but I'm pretty good with who I am. And so when you start looking at resiliency, those are the questions you need to ask yourself. And I'm not sure how we can make a person just not be affected by something. Now, I've written about it. You're on a mission-minded, right? A traumatic event happens, you're working it, but you got to finish the job. You got a task at hand, you've got to finish it. I'm all about that. Okay? I'm all about finishing whatever you're in the middle of, but then there comes a time to process that. And exposure, explaining to people what a certain scene might be like. I get that. I've done that. I've done that training. Hey, this is what it's going to be like. Give them kind of a heads up. And that's actually where we came up with the name for the business, the Roadmap Company, was a roadmap. People want a roadmap, just like a doctor. When you get done with the surgery, it's going to be 6 weeks. Okay, it's going to be 6 weeks before I can use my elbow again. A roadmap helps the brain understand what the hell's coming. We all like to know what's coming. Most of us do. We want to be shot straight on what's coming. So when you hear these words, resiliency, just think about that. I mean, really, you know, and I know that it's going to rub some people wrong with me making that statement, but I said it in the one video. I'm going to let it rip, you know. We need to learn how to process. For me, this is processing. May not work for everybody, but I'm taking the quiet time. So, looking at the clock, got to wrap it up. Going to show you something pretty cool. Didn't really think about it when I got down here. So this is barbed wire. So I'm smart enough not to run my thumb through that because it's a rusty barbed wire. But look what this old tree did to it, right? Grew right through it. Accepted it. Me personally, I think a lot of the stuff that we experience in life is like barbed wire in a tree. We just kind of grow with it and it becomes a part of us. We take the good of it. And even some of the most god-awful events, there's some good. It's just so damn hard to see because it hurts so damn bad. So, I'm going to show you this creek bottom. And then I got to get the HELL out of here because I got a whole nother piece of property to get to. And I'm running out of daylight and my hands are starting to really freeze. So, let's take a little tour real quick. So, there's a creek. See all these deer tracks. That right there, that's what they're looking for. Creek washes them down and they come down here and eat them. Acorns. Or some of you in other places in the world might call them acorns. And they can be called acorns, but here we call them acorns. So anyway, that being said, time's up. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Think about that resiliency thing. And I tell the boys this all the time, and I'll leave you on this note. See the emotions coming in. I tell the boys, if I ever take one of God's creatures and put him on the ground, and I think you know what I'm talking about, and I don't feel something in here, it's time to go to the house. So when I was out there doing whatever it is I did for 30 years, I wanted to feel it in here. It means I'm still alive. And if there's a program that stops that, nah, I don't want nothing to do with it. So what am I today? Well, yesterday I was a guy that stepped off in a hole in a swamp and got his boots all wet and they're still drying out. So today, I'm a little bit smarter than yesterday. Y'all have a good one.